It's Luna the Bonbon, aka Chocolate Luna,
I'm
a cosplayer, streamer, and the fairy from the Chocolate Moon, and this is where the lovely lights gather. So welcome, welcome, lovely light. Also, I got some news. Ready? Ready, 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 ready? It's my birthday! Today is Luna's birthday, and for Luna's birthday, I decided to play a game. I genuinely looked at every single character. I was just so curious. I was so drawn into this. I never really played like an otome game, romance game, visual novel. I don't play those often. I know I have been running Butterfly Soup on this channel, which I have not been able to play more of yet, but I will get my friends and I to organize a day to continue some more Butterfly Soup. We're not done with Butterfly Soup, you guys. I want to play some more Butterfly Soup, all right? But anyways, I guess what caught my attention the most with this game, Touchstarved, is the character designs. And the biggest thing is that typically with otome games, I always have like one or two favorites, maybe three max, you know? Like, I'll find like two or three guys and I'm like, yeah, they're good. And I'll have like one favorite that I'll like romance till the end and that's it, all right? But Touchstarved, I don't know how to explain it, but like every single character caught my attention in some way or another. I don't know why that's the case, but like, actually, I do know why that's the case, all right? Have you seen them? I am going to react to the music video. I'm gonna just put it right here. I don't know, here? I'm just gonna put it somewhere on the screen, all right? I'm gonna react to the music video, and then after reacting to the music video, we'll finally officially start the game together. So I hope you enjoy my reactions throughout the game, and I hope you enjoy joining me on the Touchstarved journey. Let's begin, lovely lights. It starts so good. Dun-dun-dun. I love the guitar too. I started laughing. Your voice when you sleep next to me. I started laughing when I figured out what song they were singing. I was like, no way. Touch. So good. It is so good. Time we touch. Probably one of the best covers I ever heard of freaking Every Time We Touch. Oh my god. Who will you trust? Touchstarved. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. I'm excited. You guys ready to play? We're gonna play. Whatcha? Oh. Here we go. There they are! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Every single one of them looks so freaking pretty. Every single one of them. I love all of their designs so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, let's begin, shall we? Okay, print demos, Touchstarved prologue, and not finish the project. Red Spring Studio. Touchstarved is intended for an older audience. It contains mature content and includes, but is not limited to horror, graphic violence, strong language, alcohol, drug overdose, injuring, ooh, Jesus. I was not expecting that. I mean, if y'all been following me for Resident Evil content, then you know. Player discretion is advised. If you accept the content warning, please click to proceed. In Touchstarved, your choices matter. The decisions you make may result in unique dialogue, interactions, or even choices in red text, which contain exclusive content. Oh my. Try playing through the demo more than once and choosing different options. You might even uncover a secret ending. And remember, there are no wrong choices, only interesting ones. Choose wisely and save often. Oh, shoot. Oh, this is serious. Oh, it's not me trying to rizz up the pretty boys. This is actually serious. Okay, I gotta take it seriously. Somewhat. We'll do it. Okay, left click, progress, things dialogue, mouse wheel up. Oh, okay, I pressed the mouse wheel. Mouse wheel down, progress text and dialogue, spacebar, hide the UI. Oh, I can see their pretty selves if I hide the UI. All right, I am Luna. Also, I feel like I didn't mention this whole time. I don't know if I already mentioned it already. I'm currently cosplaying OC I made up specifically for this game. She's still gonna be Luna, but I just wanted to have the fancy top, the fancy Lolita top with a corset and a long skirt with probably some boots. You know, it's like a walking through snow. I feel like there's gonna be snow. I don't know why. I'm assuming there's gonna be snow in this game. But yes, I hope you enjoy the OC look for this game. Choose your pronouns. That's nice. That's so nice they offered that. She, her is what I go by. I go by she, they as well, but I'm not like strongly preferred on it. I'm okay with either or. This role began to unravel long before you were born. It began with Fogfall. Fogfall. It's in red, so I gotta keep it in mind. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality wars, so then it split. This game breaks reality? Yo. What if this game is more than meets the eye? I don't know. What if it's not a fictional world that I'm thinking? Oh dang. Saves. I don't know, you said save often, so I'm gonna save. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intellect. Others were mindless beasts driven by little more than the desire to slaughter. As cities fell and unrest spread, humans united in their fear while monsters thrived in the chaos. And then there's you. You're not even sure if you're human. You were born cursed, with hands that alter the minds of anyone you touch. Choose your backstory. Oh, I already like the start of this. The heck? The unnamed, a fallen oracle. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priest claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Following the mage's word, you fled in search of the Sinobium. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions and rattle your body and soul. Okay. Oh shoot, this is... Touchstarved is because of us! I was thinking it's the boys. No, it's us! We're the ones who can't touch. Oh shoot. I can't touch. You're raised by society's outcasts, criminals who accepted you when nobody else would. Your partner in crime, of friends since childhood, helped you steal enough money for a cure, then betrayed you. They left you with only enough coin to travel to Sinobium, your last hope. You have sharply honed social intuition. You can survive and even thrive the violent underbelly of a city, using your experiences with the underworld to get ahead. An exiled Sinobium mage took you as a child, raising you as her apprentice. I actually don't know what a Sinobium is, so I'm just gonna find out. I'm assuming that someone like wise, like a mentor. I did not know what Sinobium is. I may have to Google that later. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. Oh shoot! You fled the Sinobium seeking a cure. You were an experienced spellcaster with encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With little observation, you could identify the subtle effects of magic. I don't know if this is the most common choice. I feel like it is the most common choice. This would be the option I typically would pick, because this drawn my attention first. But because this is the demo, I kind of want to experiment and pick something I wouldn't pick. So I'm gonna pick the Alchemist, because that's something that's like my least favorite of the three. The Alchemist. Your name is Luna. You selected she, her pronouns. Your backstory is the Alchemist. Is this correct? Yes. Yes. Oh. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death. The ever-present stench of decay, and countless sun-bleached bones cast the seeds across the barren land. I could say death doesn't scare me, but to tell the truth, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes, finding a group that would accept me as a trial in itself. As rations grew sparse and my canteen ran dry, I began to despair. But then I saw it. Iridia, the city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world and home to the famous academy called the Sinobium. Oh, that's what the Sinobium is. I was like, I don't know what the heck a Sinobium is. Is this the word I missed out in fiction? Okay. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's there. All that stands between me and a cure is a final stretch of salted soaked wastes, or so I think, until I see the first tendrils of a fog snaking beneath the wagon. Is this fogball? My stomach sinks at the very whisper of it. A silent storm more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, smothering out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. An eerie silence, heavy as the mist falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangled scream. Stay back! No! The cry dissolves into wet gurgling. That's my gurgling impression. Oh shit. Then the wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard. The air punched from my lungs. When I opened my eyes, adrenaline lends sudden, awful clarity to the carnage around me. Oh. A traitor I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud, their back reduced to long strings of torn muscle, gleaming gristle, and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. Oh, they were playing about the Oh. I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding. White blooms across my vision. Only when my eyes adjust do I see the dark shape in front of me. Oh my god. Ooh, I like the colors, actually. I like the eyeballs all over it, but I probably would piss myself if I saw it in real life. A soulless stoops over the twisted form of a caravaner. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twitch in my direction and blink as one. Oh! A soulless lets out an ear-splitting shriek and runs at me. But right before it reaches me, the beast barrels past, vanishing into the mist. Distantly, a horse screams in the dark. I need to move now. Oh shoot, Oh, okay, I'm gonna go for the wagon. Wouldn't the city be smarter? Maybe it won't go into the city? I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick that I fear I'm headed in the wrong direction, until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of a spire. It's faint, but it's enough. I came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist for the source, but the fogfall twists and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. He slams into me, knocking me to the ground. It slips in a patch of mud. The soulless falls on it. Oh my god! It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with the razor-sharp claws. Oh my god! We made him the sacrifice! Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Shit! My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib, jutting up from the raw water. Bandages unfurl around the gouge turn deep into my palm. The pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrists. Can you stand? One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. I need to see his face. Oh my. Hey, you're kinda... Hold on, I know we're in a dangerous situation right now, but you're kinda nice looking. They reach for my hand, and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. No! Don't touch me! The sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch, and in the space of a breath, my curse takes hold. Oh no! Their lips peel back into a deranged grin. No, I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse. Madness of my own making. Their grip on my hand tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me... Suddenly, clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my... This just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm having a great day, as you can see. Die, 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 die! Spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flecks my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs scream for air. I gotta fight! And no one's gonna help me. There's literally a monster. No one's gonna help me. I gotta fight! My nails gouge deep into the traveler's wrist, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. The more I struggle, the tighter the grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. This can't be happening. I'm going to die, not because of the fogfall or the soulless, but because of my own curse. Tears sting my eyes. No. No, no, not here. Not like this. The hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears and the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine, lips still split in that macabre smile, even as blood seeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath and slump over the claws hooked through their stomach. The soulless shoves the body aside and the glowing eyes studying its leathery skin thin as those grinning. Oh, he crunchy, isn't he? There's a flash of claws. Red spills across my vision. I thought there'd be pain, but as I sink into murky water, all I can feel is the grit of salt filling my mouth, an icy embrace of shallow water. Distantly, I notice an arm resting among the outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severed at the elbow. Should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I'll die cold, alone, and face down on a desolated wasteland. A fitting end for a monstrosity like me. Oh. If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, and as is the choking stench of bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion, until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror. Nothing at all. The thought has terrible appeal to it. But the next moment, I take a reflexive breath. Air pours into my lungs, then out again in a ragged grasp. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin, and a firm surface underneath me. A strange tang of sulfur in the air. Do not be afraid. An angel! I twist my head toward the voice. Tears flood my blurry vision at the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding, but more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Stay away from me! My words come out a little more than a creaky whisper. I clamp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. No? No, who the hell is this? Well, I'm not gonna lie back down, that's kinda... I think I would choose to sit up. I manage to push myself up on one elbow, but my head swims and my surroundings give me an alarming lurch. A stubborn patient. I don't have the strength to dignify that with a response. Instead, I pull the sheet up higher and wipe my eyes until my vision clears. Oh, he pretty. Oh, he pretty. Oh, I like his accessories and his hair. I love that hairstyle so much. I'm so glad he's the first one I get to see. Oh, I didn't even read. Oops. I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I notice that I'm completely naked except for a thin linen sheet. Naked, lying on a low cot with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. I plunge my hands under the sheet to hide them from sight, though it's too late. He must have noticed what they look like. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I brace myself for this inevitable suspicion and disgust, but his expression doesn't even flicker from that courteous smile. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I've never been safe anywhere with anyone. Even my own mentor, my teacher, thought I was nothing but a convenient specimen to be used and discarded. I scowl, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hands. I see you are not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. Oh shoot. I thought we were a goner. A goner from the start, apparently. With a soft creak, he stands from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. I seem to be in the sort of medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemical concoctions line the counters in neat rows. The air makes our nose twitch. A faint whiff of smoke and something distinctly metallic that I can't quite place. The doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look at him. I like when they're tall. I mean, I don't know if I like it when I have to crane my neck to look at them though, but I mean, I do like people that are taller than me. They can just be a few inches taller than me, but I just like people that are taller than me. Could you step out? No, thank you. Could you step out? I think if I was in the situation, my brain wouldn't process what's going on, so my first instinct is to say thank you. I'm the person that will say thank you first, not realizing anything else. I should be polite if I can, especially since I don't know who this is, what he can do or what he wants with me. Thank you. You are welcome. I will leave you to get dressed. With a curt nod, he leaves through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. Wait, so technically, whatever backstory I pick decides which guy I'm going to pursue? Because if so, I just realized it now. I didn't realize it earlier, if you want me to be honest. Okay, well, I mean, like, I'm not upset with the choice, if that is what it is. I am not denying it, alright? I count to 3 in the sudden silence. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. An inch of my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, then freeze my fingers meet at a neat line of stitches. I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clean off. And yet my arm shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happens. The seconds tick by and my arm remains resolutely healed, my surroundings pristine and quiet. In numb disbelief, I reach out for the replacement clothes and begin stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, with a black woolen cloak to go with them. But there's one thing still missing. My bandages. The golden-eyed man didn't leave me with any, even though I know he saw my hands. I slid off the bed and take a few unsteady steps toward one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be the bandages somewhere. I start opening drawers at random, and of course, that's when the door swings open once more. Are you looking for something? Excuse me? What if I was still changing? I whirl around clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump against the edge of the cot. Your caution is understandable, though if I meant you any harm, you would know. That doesn't make me feel better in the slightest, but he makes no move towards me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and mottled skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I clench my jaw. I knew it'd only be a matter of time before he asked about my hands, though the way he does it is strangely a roundabout. Glare at him, say nothing, decline to answer. So no matter what, I'm not gonna give an answer, huh? I'm just gonna politely decline. I mean, I have the right to not tell him my personal life. We just met, you know? Well, that's a very personal question, and I don't really want to answer. Is that so? Surely you realize that I can only help if you tell me what ails you. An involuntary snort of laughter escapes me. Where would I even begin? Would he believe me if I told him? No. Best to keep my curse to myself for now, and learn more about him first. Who are you? Wait a minute. Who are you? You may call me Kuras. And where exactly am I? Iridia, which I assume was your caravan's destination. I could think of nowhere else for the group of travelers to go. Iridia, so I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan, barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment. Which you provided? Yes. He says it so simply, as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic addition to me. I frown and flex the fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine, thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on? Pardon? A Solus attacked the caravan, ripped everyone to shreds, and tore my arm clean off. But when I woke up here, I spent my entire life learning from a Sinobium mage, and I know of no alchemy or magic that can reattach a severed limb. Even if he somehow could heal me by magic, I should detect traces of it, but I sense nothing out of the ordinary at all. The Dr. Kuras pinched the bridges off his nose. He sits back down in his chair and quiet. I'm sorry, when you mentioned the nose, I couldn't help but notice, but he has a pretty nose. Like, he has a really similar nose to me. It's like a downward hook nose, and I just think it's super pretty to see. I know you guys can't tell. I'm usually like the front of my face, you can't tell. It's not like super. I have like a bump. Oh shoot, a bump here, and then it goes down and points downwards. Yeah, but his is definitely more prominent than mine. But I really like how they made it. I do not know where you come from, but Iridia is a city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power, and it's almost unwise to give or receive it freely. Since you have refused to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I do not even know your name. Alright, you want to play that type of game, Kuras? You were questioning me first. I mean, it's fair, but in all fairness, you were kind of questioning me a lot of things first. It's only nice of you to mention some things about yourself, and then maybe I'll feel more comfortable and then open up, but you keep making me talk. I don't like that, Kuras, but you're really pretty, so I might forgive you. I was just... You are new to Iridia, so I've overlooked the specific breach of etiquette. However, you do not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Oh shoot, I'm being rude. Oh, I'm the rude one. I'm the rude one. Do you understand? He looks pointedly at my freshly bandaged hands. Loath though I am to admit it, he has a point. I am also a complete stranger to him, and if he's telling the truth, he saved my life. I take a deep, steadying breath. This time when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Luna. My name is Luna. It is a pleasure to meet— Oh, he smiled! Oh, he smiled very lightly. It is a pleasure to meet you, Luna. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. Thank you for saying— that's a little— Actually, I want to ask him why more than thank you. Why did you save me? If there's anything I've learned, it's that everybody wants something. With the world in such peril, no one reaches out a hand without expecting something in return. Can I ask why you saved my life? You don't know me. The question seems to startle Kuras. I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. I've never met a doctor who has also handed out free clothes. When the fingers find the edge of the cloak, there's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. I try not to think about what kind of price Kuras might ask for such a well-made clothes. No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumption, I rarely come across so fascinating a patient. I blink. What did he just say? I simply meant that few cling to life so resolutely, or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. I cannot help being curious about you, Luna. His voice dips to a soft murmur, and he abruptly looks away from me. I don't know what to say to that. I'm laughing at that response. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to say to that, bro. I gotta talk a little more nicer, though. You're pretty curious yourself. Am I? Oh, don't look at me like that, Kuras! Ah! Well, I haven't forgotten about my arm. I wiggle my intact fingers at him. Clearly not. But you haven't asked me for any payment either. I require none from you. Travelers do not have an abundance of coin, and it would be unethical to leave you destitute in a strange place. I fall silent, unsure what to say to that. Nobody would help a horror like me for free. There has to be some kind of catch or trick, right? A loud knock at the front door stops our conversation cold. It spares me from having to say anything else. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you're not my only patient today. The knocking grows more insistent, and Kuras lets out a tired sigh. Aw, did you want to spend more time with me instead? I get it, Kuras. Please wait your turn. Though he says it quietly, the clamor on the other side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything else before you leave, Luna? Oh. Between the soulless attack and my miraculous survival, I'd almost forgotten why I came to Iridia in the first place. I need directions to the Sinobium. The Sinobium? The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again. Whatever you seek, it's very unlikely you'll find it there. The Sinobium's gates open for precious few visitors, and even if they did, you would not like what you found inside. My heart sinks. Is he saying that I came all this way for nothing? Risk life and limb for nothing? No, that can't be. I've only just arrived and Iridia is the largest city standing. There has to be a cure for me here. Then if not the Sinobium, where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else in Iridia? I shake my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Wet Wick and ask for Leander. Excuse me, the what? The Wet Wick. He sounds deeply unamused. Follow the postings advertising the Leander's bloodhounds, and there's difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you. That isn't much to go on, but Kuras points towards the clinic's back door. You'll be safe as long as you do not draw attention to yourself. That's easier said than done, but I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention. If you inquire my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. Though he's smiling, there's a note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out on the back door. Well, let me save. I find myself standing in a narrow and rather gloomy alley. I pull the new cloak up over my nose, stepping over the contents of chamber pots that have been emptied into the streets. Something weighs heavily inside one of the cloak's pockets. My coin purse. Everything is still inside. Every last coin that I scraped together for the journey to Iridia. It doesn't even look like it was open. There are a few coins to begin with. They probably weren't even worth stealing. I glanced back at the clinic's closed door. Kuras didn't take any payment. He didn't even ask for a future favor. He also said that in Iridia, secrets are power. Did he expect me to give up mine at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Kuras gave me a second chance, and let on where I might find help. I'd better get going before he changes his mind. I squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. The line outside Kuras' clinic stretches down the road already. Two thin peddlers queue alongside weather elders. Many places in desperate need of a free clinic. It's this one. The cobblestones are treacherously rough under my feet, deep grooves worn between them by regular flooding and decades of hard use. I knew Iridia was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings are tired and dilapidated, all crammed together in narrow streets. A child darts by, clutching something greasy wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drips over me. My stomach gives a faint gurgle. This morning's catch. Oh, the vendor. This morning's catch. Fried up hot and fresh. Not too many eyeballs today. Sounds disgusting, but I'm starving, so I duck my head under the stall's grubby awning. A large fish leers up at me, and its 3 bulging eyes still visible through the thick layer of crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gap-toothed grin. What's the cheapest thing you got? The vendor points at the metal basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. Bread? Bread? Fresh long lands, 3 copper apiece. Don't burn your mouth. I take the coins out, counting them gingerly. At this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment on the counter and take my meal. 2 streets later, I pass under a wrought iron archway, adorned with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. The buildings in this quarter are dizzying riot of color. Painted walls and tinted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways. Musical voices call in invitingly. Incense mingles with the pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk warm bodies. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs on my hands when I spot a poster. It features a silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring, and the word Bloodhounds printed above his head. A motto, as above so below, circles the artwork. If Leander's the leader of the Bloodhounds, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow the line of identical posters around the corner, and nearly hit my head on a precariously dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read, "The Wet Wig." The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. Oh? Inside of the bar is a far cry from the abandoned exterior. It's not even midday, yet most of the tables and booths are occupied by a loose assembly of people in matching green cloaks. I'm no stranger to bars. Sometimes I would take my books to the local tavern for a change of scenery, but I much prefer quieter places. A cursory glance is to turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring. I'm about to head towards the counter, then a chant rises from the center of the room. Show! 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 The remaining green cloaks abandon the bar and the booths to rush towards the center of the room in a sudden torrent. There's no time to move out of the way. I'm caught, swept along the ale-stench current. Ale, not al. Hey! Rhythmic chanting drowns my voice, not throws down. I thrash, drowning out my elbows as the press of bodies grows heavier. My hips knocks into the table. I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself. But the crowd has stilled, and the chanting stopped. The music stopped right as I finished the sentence. That's good. That's good. I like that. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. Oh my. Seriously, you dogs. Again. Scattered laughter and cheers rise from the audience. I drag my eyes upwards. Ooh! A well-dressed man stands on the table in front of me, his broad shoulders framed by the thick lapels of a trench coat. This is really the last time, all right. This time when he speaks, the audience falls silent, and as though bewitched by his magnetic presence or rich, low voice. Nothing as captivating as his smile. He beams at the crowd around him and performer on his makeshift stage. Don't blink or you'll miss it. He laughs, and the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light of a flash of gold. It would seem I found my Leander. He raises his hand above the audience and snaps. A flash of pale green light, real magic, and no ordinary stage trick, blinds me. Yikes, my eyes. Ooh, the art. I gotta appreciate the art. I have to appreciate the art. What is his ability? Green flowers? He can do some kind of magic. Oh no. Oh no. Leander, sir. I need to button up your jacket, sir. But also I don't want to, sir. He flicks his wrist and the magic spiraling around him coalesces. A delicate flower stem sprout from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals spring forth. With the flourish, the mage presents the conjured flowers. The audience bursts into clapping and cheers. My mouth hangs open, and not just on account of the impressive performance, There was no incantation, no spell circle. I'd never seen something so beautiful, intricate, conjured so effortlessly. Leander must be an incredibly gifted mage. No wonder Kuros recommended him. Leander plucks the iridescent bouquet out of the air and turns in a slow circle, giving his audience a good look. Now who could use some— oh right, it's his line. Now who could use some good luck? Oh shoot! Who could use some good luck? Ooh! Ooh! Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table. Some reach for the lilies while others whistle and call Leander's name. But his cool green eyes slide right over them, locking on me instead. Ooh! Oh my! Oh my! How about you? My chest tightens. Every person gathered turns to stare at me. I just got here. Take the flowers, refuse the flowers. I mean, why would I refuse? If someone offers like that nicely, I would be like, I mean, sure, I'll take it. I reach out, all too aware of the way my fingers tremble, as I carefully take the flowers from him. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the flowers leave Leander's hand, their light dims. They fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? Okay. He grins at me, and I find myself smiling back. I'm more thinking he's goofy, but alright. I feel like he's being like a— I don't know how to explain it. He's trying to be cool, but I'm here like, what? Leander steps off the table, dropping among the excited crowd with an audible clink. All right, bloodhounds, get back to your drinks. Show's over. The green cloak dispersed at his command, returning to their tables and booths. Before I can make my way towards Leander, his eyes find me. He gives me a friendly wave, then beckons me over to the crowd counter. I manage to squeeze beside him, but there's so little room that his broad shoulder presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. This is your first time to Iridia? He says it lightly, but with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much? No, but I'm certain I remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. Oh, he's the flirty type. I feel like I'm so bad with the flirty types like them because I don't know how to respond. I like Leander's design, but man, I'm horrible at responding to stuff like this. If someone talks to me like this, I'll be like, yes, I guess. I don't know. My eyes flicker to the polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What can I get you? Surprise me, and add anything my friend wants to the tab. I wasn't expecting the generosity, but I have to admit, I do feel a little thirsty after all that fried dough. Water's good. I'll have what he's having. Oh, let's have fun. Let's have fun. I deserve it after everything I went through. I'll have what he's having. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbows on the counter. I'm close enough to notice the purple shadows under his lower lids. You're not getting enough sleep, Leander? I feel you. His eyes wander over me in return, but when they lock on my bandaged hands, a sour taste rises in my throat. Here comes the questions. So what brings you to the wig? Kura sent me. Oh, he doesn't, he already's not happy. Does Kuros and Leander have some beef, or? He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but immediately falls right back into place. So it's about work. The bartender returns with a pair of glasses filled with what I can only assume is beer. I raise my glass and give it an experimental sniff. It smells faintly yeasty, but with an undercurrent I can't quite place. I quickly sip confirms I were suspicious. It's awful. That's I'm sorry, beer is nasty. I can't. It is literally just piss juice. Alright? Literally, I don't know how people drink beer. I can't. Like, even the smell, ugh. And like, just thinking about it, it's nasty to me. But any thought of complaining dies at the moment I look up and see Leander taking a deep swig from his glass. He lets out a satisfying breath. He just took one whole chug of that. How can I be of assistance? I feel like I changed his voice like 3 times. I need to get to Sinobium. As soon as the word Sinobium leaves my mouth, the entire ball falls. What the? Oh shoot! I would hate that. Bloodhounds twist around in their seats to gawk openly. Finally, an especially drunk one speaks up. The hell are you bringing up the Sinobium in here? Throw him out in this bloodhound territory. The vitriol trashes me off guard. From the angry looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some unspoken rule just by mentioning the Sinobium. When I glance at Leander, he's drinking, as though he hasn't noticed the uproar, only when he catches me looking when he lowers his glass. For the love of... He drags a hand down his face. Hey, keep it down, will you? This is business. I tense, expecting an argument, but the outspoken bloodhounds silently turn to their drinks. Only a handful continue to watch me warily. Sorry about them. The Sinobium's a bit of a touchy subject in these parts. Mix enough drinks and, well, you saw. How about we continue this outside? When I give him a terse nod, he pushes away from the bar counter. I follow Leander to an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick, where layers of frayed bloodhounds posters have been plastered on the walls. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his likeness on the posters is impressive. Didn't send you here for help with the Sinobium, did he? From the look he gives me, he already knows the answer. I glance away. No, he didn't. He suggested I find an alternative. Yeah, here you are, asking about them anyway. What do you need in the Sinobium for? I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes a reluctant silence. I realized why I kept giving those answers. After, like, literally having your mentor or master, like, take advantage of you, it's kind of, or, like, whoever it was in the backstory, you're obviously really, like, aware, and you don't want the same thing to happen twice, so that's why you want to keep the curse as secret as possible. Well, I see you're already aware of the city's currency. Information's worth its weight in gold here. Kura's told you the truth. The Sinobium's dangerous. Get on their bad side and they'll imprison you if you're lucky. Or torture you if you're not. Torture? My teacher never described anything like that. But the Sinobium's supposed to be a place of learning. A sanctuary. The Sinobium has always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge. A shining beacon of hope in the world steeped in nightmares. If any place held answers, it would be the Sinobium. That's why I came here. That's what they want you to think, but things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. If it's true, if I staked everything on a lie, then what now? Leander clears his throat. But as I always say, there's solutions to every problem, and alternatives to every solution. He claps his hands and turns to me with a brilliant smile. That's why Kura's pointed you to the Bloodhounds. Let us help you, whether it's hunting soulless, finding people, or recovering stolen valuables. We can do it all, and free of charge. I'm shaking my head before it's even finished his practiced speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. Listen, I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, Leander nods slowly. Then your problem must be fairly serious, and if the Sinobium's your first choice, you're searching for a magical solution, aren't you? When my eyes widen, he nods along, and though he suspected all along, I'd be happy to help you out. That is, if you'll tell me what ails you. Leander might not work for the Sinobium, but if his show has any indication that he's even stronger than the mage who raised me, she couldn't do anything about my curse, but maybe. I'm silent, plagued by indecision. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this could be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a pained whisper. I'm cursed. Cursed? Oh, now I'm very curious. What kind of curse? Something ancestral or more recent? He looks me up and down and taking in my face, my eyes, and finally, my hands. It's your hands, isn't it? I wait until I'm certain my voice will remain steady before answering. My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I finish, Leander begins taking his gloves off. He tugs his left hand free and flexes his fingers. Let's see it. He offers me his hand, and a prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm. An enchantment for protection, but I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is. I can't bring myself to hurt him. To see his kind face twist into a mask of madness. Believe me, this isn't an ordinary curse. I'll be fine. Perhaps where you came from, your affliction was a strange and one of a kind. Spend a year in the city, you'll see 1,000 curses and thrice as many cures. You really think Kuros would send you here if I couldn't handle it? How should I know? I only met him today. I'm good as any mage in the Sinobium. Better even. If they can help, so can I. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. I look from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. Then with a short breath, I began unwinding the bandages from my hand. Fine. But if you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You could tie me up first if it makes you feel... He looks like he's into it! Look at that face! He's into it! With each joint I expose, I grow more and more certain that this is a terrible idea. Ready when you are. If he's bothered by the way my hand looks, he doesn't show it. My fingers hover shakily over his palm. 3, 2, 1. Oh shoot. It's called Touchstarved though. I'm scared. I'm gonna hold back. I genuinely would be scared. Like, he could go crazy and lose his life. Hold back. I had to say at the last second, but Leander does not. His hand closes tightly around mine. The instant his fingers graze mine, his expression goes wild. No! Leander? I try to pull away, but he won't let go. My stomach sinks, fear clutching me even harder than Leander's grip as he takes a slow, deliberate step closer. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. His free hand rises, outstretched fingers angling towards my neck. No. You're... just fine. That's... I... Interesting. That's one hell of a curse. His hand lands gently on my shoulder to steady me. I didn't even realize I was shaking. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain a clear, soft green. Color rises in his cheeks, but he remains still except for the subtle blobbing of his throat. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of Leander's palm, lost in awareness I wasn't prepared for. I've been with other people. Kissed them, been embraced by them, and more, but not like this. Wait, how was... Oh, it's because she banned. I guess she could still touch them without actually touching them. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, picking up every single detail, the grooves of his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the pulse of his heart. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand, not without dire consequences. I've never realized what I was missing until this moment. Oh, no, that's precious. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine is hammering as fear gives away to excitement. Keep to- oh, let him go. Okay. Oh, I don't know what to pick. If you're given the opportunity, respectfully, and they're being good, and it's been forever, and they're being very nice, and they're, he consent, so it's okay, and honestly, after everything the character has been through, she deserves it. My hand glides over Leander's wrist and up his forearm, where his smooth skin abruptly gives way to a raised scar by the edge of his sleeve. Oh, he has a scar. It matches the one that runs from his collar to a cheekbone. Could it be the same? Oh, shoot. He got a long wound? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like all the way here? I glance at Leander's face and his lips part as he considers his words before speaking. Am I the first person you've been able to touch like this? My hand goes still on his arm. So far. I'll admit your touch does make it somewhat difficult to stay level-headed, but not due to your power. He takes my hand. Soft green eyes flick to mine before he turns it to inspect the golden fissures crisscrossing my knuckles. Look, we match. He points at the golden pin on his coat collar, and I give him a small smile. I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels as though it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. May I ask your name? My name is Luna. You were right to hide this from me, Luna. That curse of yours, it's unlike anything I ever dealt with. I can tell you're discreet, but you best not go showing off that to anyone else. I didn't plan on it. I was staying in Lowtown. I pause. Room and board was something I hadn't yet considered. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled then. The wet wick is noticeably quieter. Without their leader, most of the bloodhounds have dispersed, or in a few cases fallen asleep beside their drinks. Got any room left, or did the lot grab them all off and just sleep it off? And the bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. I know I always keep the corner room open for your escapades. Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained. Escapades? Wait, escapades! And I always appreciate it, but you're mistaken. This one's just for my friend Luna. Sure, stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Escapades, huh? Leander clears his throat, then holds the key out to me. But I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for the day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. Bloodhound rates. My treat since I shared your secret. Food, drink, and a warm bed, anything you need. Carefully, I take the key from him. It's small, but weighs heavy in my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Iridia, yet alone, free meals. Thank you. Go explore, Luna. You'll find many roads in Iridia, each leading to different answers. But if you need a reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. Just be careful. I nod, taking one last look at the gleaming bronze key before tucking it into the pocket of my cloak for safekeeping. Leander gives me one last friendly wave before I depart. Leander. The air clings sodden and heavy. Without the morning crowd, the sunless streets looks like barren and bleak. Even the peddlers are long gone. Only a pair of crows remaining quibbling over stale crust in a gutter. I feel a ridiculous pang of envy. At least they got no reason to fight. I never felt so lost. Kurus and Leander both made it clear that Sinobium can't be trusted. But I came so far. I endured so much. I need to see the Sinobium for myself. If only to satisfy my curiosity. I should have asked someone at the bar for directions before leaving. Oh no. I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tickles down the back of my neck. Oh. The shadow runs down the streets within rivulets. Formless dark spreads like ink into bottled shapes. Claws stretch, a muzzle splits open the reveled long, jagged teeth. A growl rumbles so low and deep I feel it. I want to run, to scream, but I feel trapped. As though the slightest movement or single breath will snap the jaws around me shut. No, I won't let it end like this. If I'm going to die, I want to see what got me first. I steel myself, then turn. The shadow vanishes. As quickly as it came, I'm left standing in the middle of the street, alone except for a figure reclining in the shade of a near— Oh my gosh! Who's stalking me? Catboy! cat boy! A monster. That much is clear from a glance. One that could nearly be mistaken for a human were it not for the tufted ears, the tail curled around his ankle, or the dust pink eyes and pupils that sharpen like needles when they fall on me. Our eyes meet and the monster uncrosses long legs. His hair gleams a shade of red that reminds me unsightly of blood, or curls around the collar throat. Jumpy, aren't you? His tone is so light and carefree that I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin and knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable little smile. Didn't you see that shadow just now? It was massive. It moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware how ridiculous it must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter. Only the beast I've seen are the wicks drooling regulars, though this did catch my eye. The flourish of his hand, my in-room key appears dangling from the finger and it turns on its chain, glitter when it catches the light. Sir! Die! My hands fly to the cloak's pockets and sure enough I find them flat. He crooks his fingers, beckoning. I've already taken 2 steps forward before the stifled insect stops me. Something feels wrong. I'm still on the edge, thrumming with so much adrenaline that the stranger's shadow flickers at the edge of my vision. I'll always attract the worst kind of attention, but I can't get rattled now. Oh, let's play his game, Who said that's mine? He smiles wide enough to reveal pointed canines. I saw you drop it. You really should be more careful. City like this, somebody might take advantage. A bald-faced lie without a hint of irony. Can't figure out how he picked my pockets under my nose, but I'm certain he took my key and I need it back. I approach the man careful to keep an arm's length away. He doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. Oh, his ear twitchy! The stranger's chain softly clicks with the tilt of his head. His ears flick. Keeping your distance. I'd be stupid to trust you. You'd think I stole your dinky little key from all the way over there. He gives an exaggerated sigh. I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? He's got me there. The sheer fabric of his sleeves alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Hell, his shoes look like they cost more than I spent traveling here. And then there's a shop behind him. No matter the city, part of pink curtains could only mean one thing. I'm not looking to buy, but I doubt I could afford your services anyway. Luckily for you, I don't charge. The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into the shadow, I feel something other than dread. My face grows hot. That's not what I meant. I'm flattered, really. You were sex my trade. I might have an exception for you. But how half off for a hand? No, my God! Or you could just hand over my key. That's nicely, and I might even let you tug my tail. Just throw it here. Some spindly little street urchin could snatch it and run. He raises my key and tilts his head so he can watch it dangle back and forth. I suppose I could claim your room for myself. Not that I'd be caught dead slumming in the wick with the rest of the slack-jawed imbeciles. You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveler, what misfortunes brought you to this wretched place? His voice particularly drips with derision. I'm not telling you anything. What could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen? I wonder. He listlessly watches the arc of my key swinging around his finger. The weather's shit, the food's streck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless... Dagger-sharp eyes flick towards me. They gleam with amusement. Unless you're just dying to consult with the monsters. By now my embarrassment has worn away, leaving simmering impatience to its place. If this is a shakedown, it's the most frustrating one I ever heard of. Flirt back? What? I mean, I personally wouldn't. Flirt back? Honestly, let's just have fun. Why not? Did you know that I spent all my money, starved, and nearly died in a swamp just so I could crawl into bed with the first thirsty monster I saw? That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. He gazes at me under his dark lashes. Aren't you funny? Couldn't be any more obvious. I have been told subtleties. Oh my God. I have been told subtleties not my strength. So you're a place of mine. Oh, the top option. If only I had my keys, then I might be able to invite you up. His languid gaze glides from me to the key to his hand and back. Come, take my hand and we'll go together. The more he flirts, the more convinced I become that this is some kind of trap. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have tricks up their sleeves. Something tells you that this one's more dangerous than he lets on, even if he has a lovely laugh. I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me, but I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack or bite. I won't bite hard unless you beg me. God dang it! No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into an innuendo. Of course they'll make the cat boy the pervy one. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not a standoff. You like dancing? There's a traveling troupe performing in Hightown tonight. Their ludus is utterly exquisite. Truly a performance to die for. There's a life in this dreadful place, if you know where to look. You sound like you know the city well. The man's gaze flickers from me to the key dangling to his finger. Naturally, this dump was a little more than a miserable smear when I first arrived. High town, low town, I know Iridia like the back of my hand. What about Sinobium? Do you know where that is? Here's the question. Everyone makes that pouty face. His smile vanishes. Surely you've seen it, that absurdly large tower looming over the rest. It's a little hard to miss. He must mean that spire I noticed when I first caught sight of Iridia. The Sinobium's overrated, forget about it. I can show you things those stuffy balls in their limp-dick tower couldn't even dream of. I already got plans. Oh, have you some pressing matters at the Sinobium? Lunch dates with librarians? Tea time with the most esteemed of us? That's my business. What's the matter to you? I square my shoulders and the amusement bleeds out of him. Your loss. The stranger, finally bored of his tedious game, extends his hand towards me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. When he makes no other move, I reach for the key, but as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. Oh my. Hey! He yanks me down in a stagger, my soul slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch, but he's not careful to disturb them even when his fingers dig into my arm. I knew I smelled blood. You reek of death in the road. Oh, his eyes went anime death. And that fucking doctor. Oh, I'm saving. I had the red option. His voice, once silken, lowers to my smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boil as he pulls me closer. And something else. He murmurs against my throat, nose grazing my jaw. Let go! I try not to twist away, but he doesn't budge. His breath trails down my neck, sending a thrill of dread through me. But just when I fear he'll bite, he takes a deep whiff instead. Sir, stop sniffing me! Sir, I don't need you to Shadowcan sniff me right now. His wide, flat eyes gleam with a naked hunger as he gazes up at me. Not quite human, not quite monster. Seems we're both. There! The stranger's ears flatten as he releases me with a short breath. I yanked my arm back, massaging it where his grip left grooves in the bandages. The stranger twists around to watch a woman duck out from the curtains behind him. Her Sinobium uniform is nearly identical to one of my mentor kept tucked away in her closet. I leave you for all what? 10 minutes and you're making trouble again. Will you quit harassing the tourists? The stranger, there, I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile. So suspicious. Can't you see this is a friend of mine? A natural liar. He grins at me and his tail swishes minutely. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I open my mouth to correct him, but Bear cuts in. I was graciously offering my dear friend some free advice. Though his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens. Danger's drawn to you like a moth to a flame. We'll always find you given time. The woman clucks her tongue as though she's heard the recital 102 times. Word of advice, word of advice. Don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for sheer enjoyment of it. She shrugs off a wilting look from Ware. Oh please, any friend of yours knows it's true. Now hold still. Ware rises gracefully at her approach. He pushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing the long line of his neck. And suddenly it dawns on me that the jingling I heard earlier wasn't coming from the harness attached to his collar, but a leash. A heavy iron chain wound hinting around a hitching post and padlocked to the back of his collar. Ware posed deliberately to hide the leash from me. The woman produces a key ring from her pocket. She rifles through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it through the lock. Come on, unless your friend's tagging along a merry little soulless hunt. They're hunting for soulless inside the city? Words momentarily fail me. The woman regards me with a polite, if tight smile before marching down the stairs. Ware lingers. He stretches his arms over his head with a yawn and tries not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back. Your little secret's safe with me. Try not to get yourself killed, huh? Ware hops off on the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily as though he hasn't just lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned? The liver did not. That the one where you take 3 fingers and... Actually, don't tell me. Knowing you, it's disgusting. Okay. Ware's airy laughter echoes down the street. It's only after he and the clerk have vanished from sight that I realize I'm still missing something. Wait. Reflexively, I shove my hands into my pockets and find it. The room key. I pull it out of my pocket and raise it to the light just to be sure. A nagging feeling distracts me from my relief. I don't know what Ware's game was or what he wanted from me. All I know for certain is that Sinobium saw fit to leash him. A fate I could share if that's what his vague warning meant. I let my eyes drip skyward past the lanterns gently swaying in the breeze to the Sinobium faintly visible through the haze. Just one glimpse is all I need, and then I can put this all behind me. This time the key goes into my coin purse for safekeeping. It's easy enough to follow the sluggish river that splits Iridia into 2. A colossal bridge arches over the dark water below. I cross as quickly as I can, climbing over uphill toward the distant tower. Hours later, legs aching, sweat bending on my forehead, I finally found what I was searching for. The Sinobium of the luminous void. Oh, I'm here! I'm saving again. It stands at the highest point of Iridia, surrounded by cold white walls, while just people stroll down the walkways, paying no attention to the massive tower in the mist. I'm the only one standing before the gates. I crane my neck up and up until the top of the Sinobium tower disappears into the clouds overhead. The gates are so heavily enchanted that even standing near them sets my teeth on edge. Alchemically reinforced locks, invisible sigils of alarm, and who knows what else. Knocking seems like a terrible idea, but I don't see any other way of making my presence known. I'm halfway up the steps and something moves in my peripheral vision. A shadowy figure crouches beneath one of the white walls. They reach out and tug on a vine, as if testing its strength. Oi, you there! Shadow vanishes as quickly as I spotted it, and gaunt-faced man in the crisp charcoal uniform marches up the steps towards me. Ugh, another tourist. Get out of here once you're done gawking. A dismissive wave accompanies his equivocally dismissive words, and it turns on his heel without even waiting for an answer from me. I look back at where I saw the intruder, but there's nothing. Just leaves blowing gently in a cool breeze. Oh. I step away from the gates, hopelessness washing over me. Hello. Oh! Oh! A whisper so close I could feel the warm brush of breath on my skin. Oh my god. I instinctively jerk away, but there's no one beside me. Halfway down the staircase, I spot a woman, swaying in the breeze. She's gaunt as a rail, her blouse moth-eaten. I'm unable to take my eyes off her, not because of the way she smiles a little too wildly, or the way her tousled braids look unbrushed for days, but because her eyes shine a vibrant, unnatural crimson. I'm both entranced and unsettled by their subtle glow. I'm gonna save again. These days, you need a miracle to get in there. I'm unsure how to respond, or even if I should. I'm gonna respond sarcastically. Seems like I'm in the market for a miracle. Know anyone selling? She beams at me like I said the greatest thing she's ever heard. Lucky for you, I have them for free. Whatever she's selling, I'm not interested. My words come out of a tired breath. No thanks. I start down the stairs, but she abruptly steps into my path. She turns her back to me, and before I can react, she slips her fingers under the lacing of her collar, stripping out of her blouse in broad daylight. What are you As worn fabric unveils her bare skin, my panic is Hey yo! Ma'am, put your clothes back on! A misshapen sunken scar carves into the woman's body. Pitted, gnarled skin snakes down her shoulders, blooming from a gaping hole in the back of her neck. A shuddering breath escapes me. The fuck? You know, I was expecting something more elegant. I don't know. Just simply the fuck? By the looks of it, the disease that affected this woman ate away to her spine, leaving her with a hollow vertebrae at the back of her neck. Jesus. How is she able to move or breathe? It's impossible. She shouldn't be alive, and yet the power to cure anything can be yours too. The power of the sea spring. The woman slides back into her blouse and deftly laces it up. If I've caught your interest, then follow me. It's only a short walk away. Yes, remember kids, always follow strangers. Without another glance, she leisurely just strolls down to Sinobium stairs, loose braids bobbing behind her. The edge of her scar peeks out from under her collar. I stand there wordless until I manage to regain my bearings. It's a twisted miracle, but a miracle nonetheless. This could be the stupidest decision of my life. What choice do I have? I take a final look at the Sinobium's shut gates, and I follow her down the steps. Ma'am, that isn't a smart choice, but okay. We descend from the higher streets, leaving behind their gilded decadence as we cross the river. The wet derelict districts feel more familiar to me. The crimson-eyed woman takes me farther than farther still, until I met with an all too familiar sight. Oh no, why? My gut lurches when I face the open horizon. The city's outskirts are hardly recognizable in daylight. I'm probably safer for it. Venturing beyond Iridia's walls is a gamble I wasn't prepared to take soon. Keep going straight, and the sea spring will reveal itself to you. I bark out a bitter laugh, loud and involuntary. This has to be a setup. As soon as I step out there, some friend of yours will ambush and mug me. If I wanted something from you, I would already have it. He says it so lightly. I almost believe her, even if she looks as physically capable as a toothpick. You're as safe inside the city as that's out of it. Truthfully, this territory before you is the safest of all. What do you mean, territory? This region belongs to Ice. Most people know him as the gang leader, but he's much more than that. I sprint against the empty wastelands. Only a fool or someone with nothing to lose would leave the city. Apparently I'm both. But if this sea spring cured her, I need to see what it can do for me. I set off into the waste. Over my shoulder, this woman calls after me. Good luck, Luna. I hope we meet again. Did I tell her my name? My heart pounds at each step I take from the civilization. For what seems like an eternity, I force each foot forward. One step, then another, until a realization hits me. I never told the woman my name! Oh my gosh! Something pierces the horizon ahead of me. A building nestled into a tall cliffside. But so starkly out of place, it might as well have been a hallucination. It drips with extravagance and honeyed mahogany, an ornate jewel of architecture. A row of dark silhouettes stand out on the horizon. Trees I think I'm still close enough to realize that I mistook for branches or spikes and jutted to, oh my god, soulless, Several of them watch me in the distance. You know, I've been having one adventure in one whole day, haven't I? I've been having Luna's grandest adventure this whole time. I don't think I just run. Exploding into a messy sprint, I push my legs as fast as they'll take me towards the decorated building. Flashes of light chase me, the gushes of blood and screams of death, the smell of burning flesh and sour bile. I can't go through that again, I won't! The next thing I know, I'm dashing up wooden stairs and crashing through towering double doors. I gasp for air, my lungs burning from exertion. I'm desperate to be safe, but when I process my surroundings, it's more hellscape than sanctuary. Blood flows all around me, overwhelming my vision with the lurid, unholy red. Instinctively, my hand leaps to my mouth. But the rotten stench of blood never comes. Instead, a smoky scent hangs in the air, sharp and spiced. I swallow thickly, convincing myself that it's not as gruesome as it appears. This has to be some sea spring, the place that grants me miracles. Pulling my eyes away from the pool, I take in the rest of my environment. Tall pillars flank me, blanketed in written notes. Seating pillows scatter the floor. A rusted kettle sits nearby. Someone must live here, despite how eerily empty it is. I'm not gonna call out, I might get ambushed. I'm staying silent. I approach the paper-covered pillars. Maybe something here can tell me more. I reach for... Oh. The topmost. I'm short, so I might go for the bottommost. I reach for a note that at the lower end. It reads, "They watch you through the mirrors. They won't stop staring. They know what I did, but they won't have me. I'm safe now. I'm safe now. I'm safe now." Maybe it's upside down? Napolaspa. Okay, maybe not. The writing deteriorates into unintelligible scrawl. Before I can ponder further, a sharp chills run down my spine. Something's watching me. They have really good timing with the music pause, I really gotta say. I don't know how they're doing it, because everyone reads differently, but they're really good at pausing the music at the right time. I quickly set the note back and my eyes darting around the wooden deck, but it's still empty, vacant. Finally, I look towards the sea spring. That stillness hides something deeper. Something wrong. Hey. I spin around and come face to face with a pack of soulless. They chitter and growl, tendrils and spikes flaring threateningly. All different sizes of species but sharing one identical trait. Glowing crimson eyes. I try to back away, but my heel teeters over the sea spring. I'm cornered. Watch your step, it's deeper than it looks. That voice again. At the sound of it, the soulless freeze, their snarls quieting. I search for the voice's source and find it above me, lounging on the rafters. Oh, this is nice! So he's the one I got on the quiz. So I think when I officially play the game, I will go for his route. But god dang, Leander and oh shoot, the other guy's name, the angel, Leander and Kuros. Leander and Kuros caught my attention the most so far. But let's see what Ian's got as well. Let's see what he's capable of. You look lost, little sparrow. His gaze is as violent crimsons, one that sears through me, leaves me feeling raw and exposed. In the same eyes I've seen over and over. First with the scarred woman, now with the soul that's circling me, all bound by sea springs of blood red. In the shroud of darkness behind him, shapes like massive tentacles twist and coil around the wooden beams. Tentacles? I can't focus. The soulless growls ring in my ears. They're not advancing, but that could change at any second. Panic rises in my throat as I struggle to track them. Hey. Eyes on me. My stomach rolls as I tear my eyes away from the soulless. Don't ignore someone who's talking to you. It's not polite. For a moment, anger knocks my fear aside. Who is this bastard? Fuck you! I look right in his unnerving eyes, holding his gaze defiantly. Fuck you, is that better? A crooked grin cracks across his face. We'll work on it. I scan the soulless again. They really aren't attacking, posturing more than anything else. Almost as if they're waiting for commands. Did you tame them? Power of the sea spring. They're hungry, so they might bite. You could give me a reason to stop them. How about I didn't do anything wrong? Trespassing. And that's punishable by death? He gives a non-committal shrug. Expecting mercy was your first mistake. My voice stops in my throat. This man's terse coolness is both infuriating and terrifying. I rack my brain for a way to defuse the situation. I don't want to. He's kind of a jerk. You know, he's kind of a jerk. I don't want to beg for his help. You know what? What the hell do you want, huh? Tell me what you want. I'm not in the mood for your guessing games. Your hands. Alarm jolts through me. I hide my hands under my cloak. Show me. Why? Won't ask twice. With a sharp puff, I reluctantly hold out my bandaged hands. I just realized me and Eyes have the same exact hairstyle in real life. I don't have like the center bangs, but like we have very similar hair. I'm not joking, you guys. I'm gonna literally put in a picture. We have the same exact hair. Are you getting off on this? Unwrap them. Excuse me. I am not into someone telling me what to do, alright? I am not into that. Heat rushes to my face and fire to my tongue. I should give him a piece of my mind, but not when his soulless or one command for ripping me to shreds. You know what? I relate at this moment. I really do. Yet no matter how much I will myself to move, my body is frozen in place. I stand there for a long, agonizing minute. My hands are trembling when I finally raise them. I know the skin beneath the wrappings all too well. The hideous, unnatural flesh I've grown to despise. I grip the edge of the bandages. Stop. With a weary sigh, the man slides off a beam and lands with a thud that shakes the panels underfoot. He's a monster, with an imposing figure that towers over me. I couldn't tell how tall he was before, but he's big. Illuminated by a lantern light, his features are stronger and sharper. I feel like everyone's like really tall. All the main cast is just super tall. Subtle clicks of metal accompany each of his footsteps. The closer he gets to me, the faster my heart hitches. What does he want? Is he going to kill me? Oh, I didn't read the other part. I find nothing to set my foot on. I forgot my back was to the sea spring. I fall, right before a warm hand catches my lower back. I'm hovering above the sea spring, the scent of smoke and leather enveloping me. Blazing crimson eyes bore into mine. Told you to watch your step. I'm too stunned to muster a response. Like I weigh nothing, he guides me back to solid ground and steps back. Following a subtle gesture from his fingers, the soulless around us disperse and relax. The shift in their demeanor is so abrupt it gives me whiplash. The enormous tentacles are no longer in the rafters, but now I doubt I ever saw them at all. Either way, I exhale a breath of relief. Thanks. As focused on me as he was before, the monster pays no attention to me now. He kicks some seating pillows out of the walkways, checks the contents of the kettle with a scowl. The sudden disregard is almost insulting. So that's it? I'm not a threat anymore? Never were one. Then why'd you threaten me? People get honest when they're afraid. In other words, he was messing with me. I drag a hand over my face, exhausted by the fact that this is the second time a monster's provoked me today. You're Ice, aren't you? Depends on who's asking. One of your friends told me this was your territory. She also said you were a gang leader. But there's no one else here. I thought there'd be more people. Ice picks up the kettle and walks to the edge of the sea spring, that dumps out the contents into the endless red. The gang took a walk. His pleasant smile stretches across his face, ear to ear. and in an instant it drops. I get the sense that I shouldn't ask about his gang again. Oof. That was a threatening smile, wasn't it? What do you need the sea spring power for? Depends. Can it cure a curse? Probably. You mean you don't know? Nope. He shakes out the empty kettle and starts collecting stray cups, tidying up. My frustration builds. I narrow my eyes at him in questioning glare. When he notices, he returns with an amused smirk. Are you being irritating on purpose? Listen, Sparrow, the sea spring could cure anything. Nothing's stopping you from trying it yourself. What do I have to do? Drink. I have to drink from the sea spring? My eyes glide to the blood-like pool beside us. The idea of ingesting that strange liquid makes my guts churn. It's not as if I'm averse to elixirs or decoctions. I made my fair share of them, but one misstep and you could easily meet with a fate worse than death. Is there a price? Always. Ice taps his temple with a finger. You lose it a little bit. That's it? Might have already beat it to the punch. My humor earns me a amused fanged grin. This is a little different. When you drink from the sea spring, you forget who you are. Your mind combines with everyone who ever drank before. Humans, monsters, soulless. One big, happy family in your head. My blood runs cold. I've heard of these before. Group minds. Some legends suggest that independent minds can be physically linked together through a strong enough catalyst. It's never been done before. But something tells me this is real, even if one thing doesn't add up. Your eyes are red too, but you obviously haven't forgotten who you are. Before I can finish her sentence, Ice strides past me towards the entrance. Time's up. Let's finish this later. Wait, already? You barely told me anything. Came on a bad day. I got somewhere to be. I just realized this man got moobas too. I was too into the story that I forgot he got moobies. I have to acknowledge all of their moobies, okay? There's still so many questions burning on the tip of my tongue. My frustration spills out before any of them. I was told to come here for help, but instead I got threatened and kicked out. You're joking, right? Watch your tone. I'm nice, but you don't want to ruin the host's mood. My skin prickles. The feeling of being watched washes over me again. My eyes dart back over the sea spring. A lone ripple dances on the quiet surface. I take Ice's advice and clamp my mouth shut. Ice's approaches and nears Slowless, a lanky dog-like one with 6 legs and crown of tendrils. Several sets of crimson eyes adorn its sides. Its forked tail wags rapidly when Ice squats beside it. He runs his fingers through the tendrils, scratches his chin and pats it. Wow, wow, wow. A gentle smile plays across Ice's lips. The affection he holds for the Soulless is painfully clear. I dip my eyes away from my stomach fluttering at the tender sight. It's getting dark out, so this pretty girl will guide you back. Following a short whistle from Ice's lips, it trots over to the entrance, obediently, tail swaying. Okay, so he's mean but got a soft spot for the Soulless. Interesting. I watch the Soulless warily. Pretty is not a word I would use to describe it, and the idea of protecting me sounds absurd. If I decide to drink, how should I find you? Find someone with eyes like mine. They'll point you in the right direction. But I think it's over. Once you drink, you can't go back. It's a lot to process, but I give it a small nod. At least to know I have another option for a cure, as disturbing as it may be. I follow the Soulless at measured distance, and watching it nudge the giant doors open with ease. When I'm about to cross the threshold, I sneak at one last glance behind me. My heart skips when I meet Ice's eyes. I'm about to snap my head anyway, but he just flashes me with an easy smile. So Ice is someone who probably drank from the pool himself. I'm assuming he may have been human and became a monster. That's what I'm guessing his story. I'm guessing his story completely. Like he's a human that became a soulless monster, everything combined because he drank out of the pool. It's interesting. I'll buy you a drink for scaring me. I didn't read that, so I remembered though. I don't trust myself to do anything but respond with another curt nod. Outside, more crimson-eyed soulless scuttle about. It's hard to believe it's the same threatening pack from before. They chase each other in circles, roll around in bog's mud. They pay no attention to me as the dog-like one escorts me away. It's an uneventful trip. Sometimes the Solus looks over its shoulder at me to make sure I'm still following. Little doggy Solus. Oh, it's pouring hard outside, you guys. I kept looking in between. I didn't mean to get distracted. I meant to mention it earlier, but it's like pouring outside, so I kept noticing the thunder and lightning. Dust darkens the sky by the time we reach the city. The Solus sits and looks at me expectantly with the familiar crimson eyes. Can I pet the Solus? As nervous as I am, I carefully glide my fingers through the Solus tendrils and scratch beneath its chin, just like eyes had. It pushes into my palm in response, rumbling with a sound akin to a purr. The vibrations are soothing, almost healing my fatigue. When it's satisfied, the Solus spins around and scampers back in the direction we came, vanishing into the darkness. It's barely my first day in Iridia, and I've already encountered so many things I thought were impossible. Tame Solus being's one of them. My head spins. Maybe I should call it a day. Nightfall creeps across the streets of Iridia. The city labyrinth, even in daytime, has become aware in treacherous alleyways. The streets are completely deserted. If I hadn't been here earlier, I would have thought this part of the city is abandoned. I make my way through the winding streets, doing my best to keep my bearing towards the wet wick. My steps slow when I hear rustling in the dark. I strain my ears, but everything is still. Is the silence playing tricks on me? No. After everything we went through? No. At this point, I can't just assume I'm imagining things. At this point, something is wrong. The fine hairs on the back of my neck prickle, a frigid and discomforting running down my spine. Something is wrong. Also, always trust your gut. Your body always tells you before you realize it. My eyes dart from one side of the street to another, searching for movement. But the shadows are as deep as dark as pools of ink, and I see nothing. I can't stay here. I need to reach a busier part of the city. Drawing my cloak tighter around my body, I hurry on my way. Though I keep my eyes sharp and listen intently, there's only one sound of my own footsteps. As the moments pass and nothing happens, I begin to wonder. Maybe I really did imagine that noise. I turn the next corner, my thoughts came screaming to— oh, I hear some whispers in the song. My head spins, the world blurring and as adrenaline rushes through my veins. Only one thing is clear amidst the haze. The Solus had attacked the— oh no! It's crouched over a dark and distinct shape, a body. A garland of intense spills from its pallid flesh. Blood grouts the cobblestones for mercy. The Solus is too distracted by its meal to have noticed me. My feet feel as heavy as stones, but I can't just stand there. Holding my breath, I take a step backwards. When the wet slurping sounds don't abate, I take another, then another. Then a shard of glass crunches under my heel, of course. The world seems to slow to a crawl as the Solus raises its head, blood dripping from its tendrils. Every single one of its sulphurous, bulging eyes fix unblinkingly on me. It's really here. It's come back for me. Run! I'm off like a shot, running for my life through the darkened streets. Behind me, a piercing bass splits the silence and heavy footfalls pound after me. My heart thunders in my chest. I take turns at random, trying to lose it in the maze of streets, but I can't seem to shake it. I can hear its breathing now, a wet fluttering rasp growing closer and closer. The same claws that severed my arms swipe out. I duck and save the pure reflex. I skid around the corner. I take 3 running strides before the bottom drops out of my stomach. A wall twice as high as me bars my way, a dead end. When I turn around, the Solus looms in its entry to the alleyway. It's no longer running. It doesn't have to. As it prowls closer, my thoughts race. Some of the buildings lining the streets are lit. There must be people inside. It's a long shot, but I can either try the nearest door or scream for help. I say scream first. Someone could hear you. Somebody help me! My voice rings throughout the shadow streets. Silhouettes pass by the windows, but nobody answers. In this wretched world, few people will stick to their neck out to help their own flesh and blood. Never mind a stranger. The Solus, provoked by my shouting, gives a rasping hiss. It's the only warning I get before it lunges for me with a flash of claws. I hurl myself to the side, but the slick cobblestones betray me. I fall sprawling over the rough stone. As the soulless looms over me, I scrabble away from it until my back hits the wall. There's nowhere left to go. It descends on me for the kill. Oh no! But the impact never comes. I warily crack one eye open, then the other. I'm not sure whether I should believe what I'm seeing. A hooded figure crouches in front of me, one blood-stained hand outstretched. Moonlight silvers the edge of their stiletto knife. Their face and hands are splattered with blood, and the soulless. My eyes dart past my unexpected rescuer. The mishap behind them, the soulless many eyes once restless and vibrant, now look dull and waxy, and a red pool spreads slowly from under its body. Numb with shock, I can't help but stare. It's dead. After all the people it's killed, after nearly killing me twice, I can hardly believe it. Well, I gingerly take the offered hand. The stranger's gaze dips to my bandages. Pale lips part on the brink of a question, then close again. With the sight belaying their slight frame, they pull me to my feet. As soon as I'm on my own 2 feet again, they pull away from me, start wiping the blood from their face and hands. Stay there. They turn away from me stiffly, leaning over the soulless gangly body. Their back towards it, I realized that I saw their hooded silhouette at the Sinobium. Oh, I don't want to say you're shorter than I thought. You're shorter than I thought. They give me a startled look before their eyes narrow. Seems I touched a nerve. I'm surprised you think at all. Maybe I deserve that. Before I could formulate a response, they continue. What are you thinking, traveling alone at night? This is far from the worst thing, haunting Hello Town. I can't make heads or tails of them. First they save me, and now they scold me. Lesson learned, I could do without the lecture, though. And I could do without you calling me short. Point taken. Their attention glides back to the soulless corpse. They examine it with an inscrutable expression. I clear my throat to fill the silence. I'm Luna. Min. Suddenly, Min tenses. Their blade flashes as they drive it to the base of the soulless skull, right between the cervical vertebrae. The soulless thrashes once, letting out a rattling hiss at the air leaves his lunges. Leaves his lungs. Min leaves on the blade, driving it deeper and deeper until there's sickening crunch and the creature goes limp. My heart thuds in my chest. Must have been clinging to life by a thread. Min straightens up, withdrawing their blade in a single smooth motion. Better put the wretched things like— oh, that's a big ol' lightning. Oh, the thunder's loud. Better to put the wretched things like this out of the misery. They calmly clean the blood from their knives. They struck with surgical precision. Their quick, clean movements are familiar. Oh, what's the red one? Are you a scientist? Min stops mid-motion, lifting their head to stare at me. You knew exactly where to strike. Have you studied anatomy or medicine? Not quite. Why is the soulless inside the city? Min looks at me, eyes searching, before realization dawns. You're new here. There's no walls around the city. Soulless can come and go as they please, until someone is contracted to stop them. Sinobium's patrols don't bother to protect Lowtown. Not anymore. Let me guess, you're not a fan of the Sinobium? I wouldn't go that far. Their brow abruptly furrows and they sheath their knives, motioning for me to follow them. It's not safe here. The vultures can smell death. I'm not quite sure what they mean, but I don't want to stay lost in the city. I trail behind them as they stride down the street. If it's so dangerous, then why are you helping me? You will make an unbearable racket. Next time you walk into soulless claws, at least die quietly. Their answer is stingingly harsh. You know what? Fine. Fed up, I don't bother holding back anymore. Fine, I don't know why you dive in out of nowhere to kill some dangerous soulless, then be rooted to the person you help, but go right ahead. Min blinks, staring at me like my head just spun around my neck. They open their mouth and close it, looking uncertain. I forge onward, gathering their steam. How was I supposed to know there'd be a dangerous soulless hunting in the streets? You don't have to be an asshole about it. Oh, Min Blushi? You're not as spineless as you look. Luna. I turn. Surprised by the voice, Kuros walks down the street towards us. His white and gold clothing is pristine despite the grim of the city. Hello, Min. Hello, Min. I see the soulless that you work. Min shrugs. There's a familiarity to the way they regard each other. I didn't know you had friends, Min. I keep poking at Min, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had friends. I don't. Freelance work is dangerous, and Kuros is a doctor. That's all. Kuros knows to everyone, it seems. Luna needs to get back to wherever she's staying, before she wanders into the jaws of another soulless. It is late. Were you able to find a place to stay, Luna? I'm staying at the Wet Wick. Both their faces fall. I see. Would you like a guide? It might be preferable to wandering about alleyways. That would be nice. Then clicks their tongue and sighs, sounding mightily put out. Going to the Amaryllis district, the gaudy cesspit. Come, this way. Despite Min's clear distaste, when Kuros leads me down the street, they keep pace with us. Catching my curious glance, Min's eyes narrow. It's not safe this late. I don't care about you. But Kuros is the only doctor worth a damn in this place. Are you like this with everyone? The deadpan look Min gives me is an answer enough. I catch Kuros hiding a slight smile. Aww. I suppress a sigh and resign myself to having a grumpy shadow all the way back to the Wet Wick. The route Kuros takes is completely different from my slow meandering earlier in the morning. In no time at all, he cuts through darkened streets and twisting alleys. Seems like half the city is poured into the Amaryllis district colorful streets. Laughter, clicky glasses, and music assault my ears from every direction. Yet the most noise still comes from the Wet Wick. Its doors hang wide open, lanterns lit. Here we are. He moves towards the door and Min lets out an audible huff. Don't tell me you're going in. I have some quick business with Leander. Fine. He still owes me for yesterday's work. They drag their feet, reluctantly trailing me into the tavern. As soon as the doors open, a wave of sticky heat rolls over me. Sticky heat. In the hours since I left, the wick has grown suffocatingly crowded. Kuros stands out easily as a head taller than most. Even so, I nearly lose sight of him amidst the sea of swarming bodies. But pardon me. The crowd parts as though answering his request. Kuros glances over his shoulder at Min and me before gliding through. How could anyone breathe in here? Min follows Kuros at the clipped pace. Leander's right where I left him. Although he's traded places with the bartender, he holds a pair of shot glasses filled to the brim with luminous green liquid. And now for the finishing touch. A flash of magic paints the glasses white with frost. You're never gonna guess what's in these. Leander slides the glass across the bar, and I get my third and fourth shots of the evening in rapid succession. No way! Eyes leans against the bar, and elbow propped up to the counter. He catches the glasses and lifts up one to the light before turning it upside down. The contents magically congealed, stayed firmly in place. You're supposed to make drinks, pretty boy. Don't tell me you wasted already. There, perched on the bar's counter beside Eyes, takes a single look at a shot glass and shakes his head. What do we have here? A bucket full of boogers. Leander's nose treasure. You've eaten worse. Bear's lips twitch and his ears flatter when Eyes offers him a glass. He turns his cheek with a sniff and Eyes snickers. Coward. Don't tell me you actually. In one fluid motion, Eyes throws back his head and downs the shot. Drinking that. A dark look crosses Eyes' face. It's chewy. Chewy? Wait, let me try again. Behind me, Min grumbles. I told you this place was a nest of degenerates. But isn't the Kuros and Min? The sound of Leander's voice, Min's pale eyes grow wide. They look ready to bolt until Kuros sets a hand on their shoulder. I promise this will not take long. Min's eyes dart from Kura's hand to his face, then soften. Fine, you first. While they step forward, I linger behind, struck by a sudden revelation. All the people I met today know each other. Wow, it's almost like I'm an otome game or something. Good evening, Leander. Ice, another drinking competition, I presume. No, it's evening already. Could have sworn it was earlier. Yeah, he's flustered. Look at him. He got that flush. He's kind of drunk. Just a friendly rivalry, Doctor. Nothing to be afraid of. Chris acknowledges Leander and eyes the slightest nod, ignoring Vare entirely. Not that Vare seems to mind. Oh? I mean, well, Vare probably got beef with him. Who knows? I like that Vare's ear twitches in between. You can't see it. I'm kind of covering it, but his ear, like, twitches. He tilts his head and an impish smile curves his lips when he spots Min living silently behind Kuros. I almost didn't see you there, Min. Looking for your booster seat. Min pushes back the hood. They level Vare with a cool look. I thought Ice wasn't allowed to bring his pets in here. Ooh, Min! Vare's tail gives an angry twitch. First sign of impending fight, Leander vaults clear over the counter. He slides in between Eyes and Kuros. No, let's try to keep the peace. It's not every day that esteemed doctor takes up on a drink. His arm stakes are on Kuros' shoulders. You are finally taking me up on that drink, right, Kuros? I'm afraid not. We were merely escorting Luna back to her lodgings. Kuros gestures in my direction, and stomach sinks. I reluctantly step into the light. As soon as he sees me, Leander's face brightens. Luna, it's been too long. Everyone, this is Luna. She's new to Iridia. I feel 5 pairs of eyes fixed onto me, and suddenly the bar feels suffocatingly small. My voice nearly catches in my throat. Hi again? Again? Wait, you already met everyone. Eyes and Vare level me with subtly amused expressions. Vare's tail gives a lazy wag. We did. Not that long ago either. I'm starting to suspect she's stalking me. He looks far too pleased with himself when I roll my eyes. This calls for drinks. What does everyone want? In an instant, all eyes turn to Leander, freeing me from the burden of attention. Look at them! Aw, looky. I gotta take some pictures. Oh, I gotta take this picture. It's really nice. Oh my god, my PC's, I took too many screenshots. My PC's now going crazy. I still can't believe they all know each other. Watching them talk amongst themselves feels surreal. For the first time since I undertook the journey to Iridia, I feel a faint glimmer of hope. I know I was meant to meet them. The low, pleasant rumble of Leander's laughter pulls me from my restless thoughts. Well, color me surprised. Make friends fast, Luna. I wouldn't go that far. We're more like acquaintances. A wise man once said that acquaintances are merely friends you haven't shared a drink with yet. A wise man, you said that. Here, last week. I can hear Min's lip curl with distaste from across the bar. Leander clears his throat and continues unperturbed. Let's toast to Luna's health. Care to join in, Doctor? Kuros politely declines with a wave of his hand. How about you, Min? No. No. Straight up. All you... No. The resounding pop pierces the din of the bar. We all turn in direction of the noise. Vare looks almost bashful as he accepts an overflowing flute from a bartender, poured from the bottle so old its label is worn blank. There's no champagne here. Since when? Vare pauses in the middle of licking champagne foam from his fingers with a coy smile. You don't mind, do you? In transformation as impressive as his magic trick, the concern of Leander's face vanishes. He laughs softly. No, be my guest. I know you got expensive taste. Then he shouts to the bartender with a frightened look. Unbothered or uninterested in his company, Eyes cants his head at me, a light smile on his lips. How about you, Sparrow? I did say I'd buy you a drink earlier. No, my treat. Eyes regards Leander with the lip of his glass in a dim light. The glint in his crimson eyes looks downright dangerous. What'll it be, Luna? I'll just party with everyone, why not? For the occasion. I'll take you up on that drink, as long as it's not one of those green shots. Don't knock them till you try them. They taste better than they look. Somehow I doubt that, but I hold my tongue long enough for Leander to go behind the bar. He's lying, isn't he? When I glance at Ice, he only shrugs. Like I said, they were chewy, probably poisoned too. He considers his own drink a tumbler of amber-colored whiskey. Leander's tried to kill me a dozen times by now. It's always a gamble. Mer clicks his tongue in disapproval when he finally looks my way, until the half-lidded gaze softened by his third glass of champagne. I wouldn't let Leander put anything in my mouth. He fans his fingers over his chest, voice dripping with fake reverence. The Wet Wick is one of the finest drinking establishments of all Iridia. While you were here, you might as well partake of the signature watered-down drinks and stale nut leather. He sweeps his hand towards a chipped ceramic bowl filled with spinally speckled jerky that I can only assume is nut leather? What the hell is nut leather? What is the food in the city? As abysmal as you may make it sound, this place is completely packed. It's not all that bad. Depending on the day, the food's edible. Ice takes a measured sip of his drink. Gotta stick around for the real attractions, though. Before I can ask what he means, Leander returns to the tumbler when he sits in front of me. Uneven chunks of ice bob in a pool of reddish-purple alcohol. I sniff the drink suspiciously. To my relief, this time all I smell is a sharp, clean-scented gin and undercurrent of fermented fruit. Gin and fruit. Relax, just the local speciality, plum gin. Although if you're feeling more adventurous. Oh, I like plum. Plum gin, though, I don't know how that's gonna be. I shake my head. Leander raps his knuckles against the bar until the group falls silent. Alright, everyone, let's toast. May Luna stay in Iridia be full of bright adventures and discoveries. Cheers! Leander, Ice, and Vera raise their glass in unison. Min only crosses their arms and Kuros watches with polite indifference. I tip back my drink. The plum gin is eye-wateringly strong. Despite a sharp medicinal edge, it goes down smooth. One sip softens the edges of my vision. The next fades the din of the crowded bar in a low, persistent murmur. I find myself unwinding for what feels like the first time in years. Aren't you the popular one, Luna? I'm guessing you met Kuros first. It would be more accurate to say that I found her. He saved my life. I merely performed my duty as a doctor. Although I must admit that I was confused when I woke up missing all my clothes. Leander makes a choked noise. Somewhere behind him, Min sighs. It's not what you think. Luna was in grave condition. I could hardly treat such injuries without her tattered clothes. The silence that follows stretches uncomfortably long. I look away, unable to face Kuro's disappointment, and catch Mir snickering behind his hand. Oh no, I done goofed. That's my cue to change the topic. Good idea, good idea, good idea. Let's go, Luna. Kuros isn't the only one who saved me that day, today. Don't you listen? I didn't save you. You were simply there. That's Min for you. Leander reaches for Min, but they duck under his arm with practiced ease, without so much looking his way. As reliable as they are moody. You want to talk, considering you neglected to warn her to stay off the streets at night. Oh, I might have gotten a little distracted. Min's only response is a short breath. At any rate, I never got a chance to thank you, Min. Don't. The less soulless alive, the better. For a heartbeat, Min's eyes flick towards Ice, and their lips twist. Ice is too busy nodding along to Vera's enthusiastic pantomime of stabbing to notice. Lost, no doubt, in an enthralling discussion. I had enough of this hellhole. Let's go. Min and Kuro shared a brief look. The doctor speaks up. Very well, but there's something that I must discuss with Leander. If you'll excuse us, Luna. Just like that, the three of them depart, leaving me alone to savor my gin in silence. Or so I think until I hear a voice so soft and so low it's practically a purr. Lost your tour guide. I turn to find Crimson and Pink Eyes turning on me. It's not lost to me that they are chose the instant the others left to strike. Just my luck. I had to be abandoned with the two most irritating people I met all day. Monsters or not, there's no telling what I'd do if either of them pushed me again. Don't tell me Leander just stuck off to go get his snob slaughtered out back. Knob slobbered? Knob slobbered? He's got business with Kuras Min. 2-on-1 business, Isn't he lucky? Can't tell if it's the champagne or the company, but Vera's grown noticeably more relaxed. He sits with his chin propped on the back of his hand. His ears twitch whenever a hiccup shakes his shoulders. Why are you so far away? Come join us. He pats the empty bar stool beside his eyes, but I hesitate. The smile Vera wears is sweet and distinctly sly. With the drinks in the mix, I dread how he and Eyes will mess with me next. We don't bite. I'm not sure about that. Just hours ago you tried to rob me and you threatened me. Me? Steal? Surely you must be mistaken. You sure it was me? You too. Yes, it was you, and then you had to go have the gall to kick me out just so you could go drinking. He gives another one of his shrugs. I was lonely. A simpler answer than I expected, but I guess I can't fault him for that. Vera suddenly slumps forward, gossamer sleeves pulling where he rests his elbows on his knees. I sets his hand on Vera's waist, narrowly preventing him from tipping off the counter. But we start fresh. Begin with the proper introductions, get off the right foot and whatnot. I'll start. The name's Vera, hunter extraordinaire. Vera's right hand flutters to his chest and he bows his head, flinching when hair falls onto his eyes. Eyes doesn't say anything, so I suppose it's my turn now. You already know what it is! I'm certain you already know my name. Hard not to when Leander shouts it every other second. Vera tips back his head and drains the rest of his champagne. It's a pleasure to formally meet you, Luna. He says my name slowly, deliberately, savoring every syllable. A tingle jumps down my spine, and I quickly turn my gaze away. I smirks at my reaction over the rim of his glass. Is something funny? Nope. I open my mouth and close it just as quickly. They want me to react, goading me into another ridiculous game. While their sharp cat-like eyes keep me on edge, something about the tension is fun. It must be in the grin. The gin! Oh my god, not the grin. A flash of white over Ice's shoulder catches my eye. Across the bar, Kuras heads to the door. I don't see Leander or Min, but it feels wrong to let him leave without saying goodbye. I'll be back. Vera hums and wags his fingers at me as I leave. I slip through the crowd, careful not to touch anyone, but just as I'm nearing Kuras. God! I stagger, shoulder checked by a man with a neck thicker than both my thighs. He stares down at me, nostrils flaring. Roughneck. Out of my way, shit stain. My words spill out of their own. You watch it! I regret them as soon as they leave my mouth. That fucking gin. The roughneck wheels around, shoving a bloodhound out of the way so he can close in on me. What do you say? He shoves me backwards, sending me stumbling to the sticky floor. I'm fine, but my heart leaps into my throat when I see a roughneck bearing down on me. You trying to start something here? The roughneck freezes and his fist cocked back. A group of bloodhounds called by the commotion circled him, sizing him up. For what feels like an agonizing long moment, the roughneck looks from me to the bloodhounds. Finally, he sniffs up and spits on the floor next to me. The lob narrowly misses my cheek. Screw it, too many freaks in the circus tonight. He turns his back on me and comes face to face with Eyes. A dangerous smile spreads across his face. You'll do. What happens next is a blur. Ice's fist crashes in the jaw. Ooh, causing an eruption of gas and shouts and even cheer. Ooh. I scrabble to my feet right as the frantic crowd swarms around me, cutting off my sight of everything and everyone. Through the ruckus, I hear Leander shouting, Hey, Ice, take it outside. Ignore them, everyone. Look, drinks are on me. With those 4 words, the wake erupts with hoots and hollers. The ring around me disperses to as bloodhounds and onlookers rush towards the bar. Through the thinning crowd, I catch a glimpse of familiar faces. Ice vanishes out the back, dragging the roughneck behind him. Kuras lingers near the doors, searching, I suspect for any wounded before he departs. Min draws their hood up tight as they slip outside the door. While Vera leans over the counter to swipe a glass of wine from behind the bar. and Leander, seated at the opposite end of the bar, gestures dramatically and apologetically at the bartender. In the space of a heartbeat, I realize there's no telling when or if I'll see any of them ever again. Whoever I pursue may be the last person I get to speak tonight. I follow. Oh, shoot! Ooh, I have to pick! Oh, I have to pick! Oh, everyone's been so good! Every single one of them has been so good! Eyes is like the mean one who has a soft spot. Kuros is the sweet one who would treat you well. Min is like the cold-hearted one, but it's actually sweet as well. They're similar. Eyes and him are kind of similar, but not, from what I'm getting. Min has a different style, kind of like the kudere style of love, I guess, or expression. Ver. Oh my, I don't know about Ver. I don't know, Ver kind of pisses me off a little. Ver low-key pisses me off. He's obviously the playful catboy type. And then Leander. Oh, I had a lot of fun with Leander. Oh, but he a playboy. Oh, Leander's kind of a playboy though, but he was fun. He was really funny. I really liked him. Oh, Kuros. I love Kuros too. Whoever I pick might determine. So I said on the quiz, the official quiz, the one I got was Eyes. That one was the one by the official Twitter quiz made by, or the official quiz made by the creators of Touchstarved. The one I got was Eyes from that quiz. So I'm gonna take the creators' recommendation and go with what they think based off of the quiz will work best for me. And apparently Eyes might be. Let's see. Let's go with Eyes. Let's go with him. Morbid curiosity draws me after Eyes. I slink out the back of the wet wick. Is he still beating up the dude? The alley's dead silent. Not really what I expected from a fight. A dull crunch reaches my ears, then a thud. I peer around the corner of the building, careful to keep hidden. Dark, glistening red splatters to the ground, sprouting through the seams of cobblestone. It guides my eye to collapsed body across from me. Once so violent, the roughneck is now little more than a sack of crumpled flesh, blotted with mud. Eyes exhales, his breath misting against the cold air. Blood flecks his knuckles as he looms over the motionless body, his feet on either side of it. Fear spreads like ice in my bones. Moments ago he was joking and friendly with others, but now... Eyes' crimson eyes find me in the dark. Not running, Sparrow. I wearily rise to my feet, moonlight illuminating my face. I thought I was just out of sight. I got eyes in the back of my head. And he's like, no, literally, I have eyes in the back of my head. I'm a monster, remember? I can do that. Eyes steps off the roughneck. My eyes stay locked on the body. It's wet with layers of blood and grime. Completely still. He's alive. Okay, I was worried. I was actually genuinely worried. Are you sure? Calling me a killer or a liar? More of a liar. Liar, which I guess is both. In that case, he's dead. Okay. I squint and he smirks back. You don't believe me? To be honest, it's hard to believe anything coming out of your mouth. I'm a liar after all. His bloody knuckles catch his attention. He tries to rub them clean, but ends up smearing the blood around more. Keep making bad impressions on you. I didn't know you cared about my opinion. I just prefer you didn't piss yourself when we talk. Annoyance bubbles in my chest. Well, I'm not pissing myself, even with your bad impressions. Like the first time we met, Eyes chips away at my fear, replacing it with irritation instead. Eyes kneels beside the roughneck and frisks him. I can't help but wonder if the crime was worth the punishment, but I hold my tongue. Deftly, Eyes' hands search through the roughneck's pockets. It doesn't take him long to find his prize. A cigarette and a matchbox. He strikes a match, sparking light up his angular features with a golden glow. It's distracting for a moment, but my gaze inevitably drops back to the muddy body. You're just gonna leave him there? Eyes draws deep from the cigarette. He exhales heavily, smoking curling past his lips. I breathe in the sweet, spice scent of cloves. As his tension melts away, he looks at me with cold, lidded eyes. Should I give him a blanket? Yeah, this is so funny. Oh, the dialogues in this game. Unbothered by the maybe corpse, he takes a seat on the crate opposite the bar. I stand awkwardly, forgetting why I came out here in the first place. An unpleasant silence stretches between us. The weather's nice. Cold, murky, and humid, he means. I want to believe he's teasing me, but for all I know, this is pleasant for Iridia. Was Princess a good company? Who? He takes another long drag. His metal rings catch the light of the cigarette and the flash of red. The Solus escorted you back. You named it Princess? Jealous. Oh! Oh! Ah! Stop that! Stop that, you! Stop that, you! Stop that! Excuse me, eyes! I return his smile. You have no idea. Oh! Okay! Okay. I think your nickname's more fitting. Sparrow? Not sure where Ice got it from, but maybe I should tell him to call me by my name. But it's kind of nice. Yeah, actually, why did he start calling me Sparrow? Wait, what's the whole Sparrow thing about? Why? Not that I ever tell him that. Before I dissect my feelings, I quickly change the subject back to the Solus. I don't want to say surprised it didn't kill me. I feel like he treasures it, so I don't want to be mean. I'll just say she was cute. She was kind of cute, in a weird way. I glance absent-mindedly at my hand, remembering how she nuzzled into my palm at my touch. Ice's eyes softened for a brief moment. Yes, because he cares for the Solus. Her tail wouldn't stop going when she got back. The group of them don't get much attention. Think she's cute now, wait till you see her tricks. You taught her tricks? Princess is a smart one. She'll learn anything if you have the right way rewards. Sounds about right. The idea of tame Solus is still outlandish to me. I was mauled by a mindless, bloodthirsty beast and he's talking about them like they're pets. But it's possible, all because of the sea spring. I need to get the answers he wouldn't give me before. I carefully take a seat beside him on the crate, contemplating my strategy. Doesn't seem to mind. He closes his eyes, tilts back his head against the wall, relaxed. Without the pressure of his intense gaze, I feel myself ease up too, as long as I keep my attention away from the bloody heap across from us. I glance over at Eyes and allow my eyes to linger. A sea glass-colored tattoo spiral up his arm, painting over grooves of muscle. Silvery jewelry glints at the moonlight. It draws my eyes to his bare chest, rough hands, carved jaw. Okay, well, I mean, I guess it's in our head, so I guess it's in our head. His ears, his horns, his pupils. Everything about him is sharp, even the fangs that only show when he grins. But as dangerous as he appears, I can't help wanting to know more. I wonder how recently he crossed over to this world and why. What's your verdict? Whip my head to the opposite direction. What verdict? Got a long, good look? Are you impressed or do I need work? My face grows hot. God dang. You're annoying. He responds with a low chuckle, draped in smoke. Didn't stop you from staring. My embarrassment spikes. Without thinking, I blurt out a change in topic. I have questions about the sea spring. Boredom eclipses his amusement in an instant, and he closes his eyes again. Of course you do. Thought I made myself clear. What you'd be giving up. Before you kicked me out to go drinking, I need to know more. My turn for a question. Sounds more like an order than anything else. I bristle under his narrowed gaze. Fine. He takes a long pull from his cigarette and lets the smoke trail slowly from his lips. Your curse. What about it? The song and dance is all too familiar. The selfish questions come first. What does it do? Is it painful? Can you control it? I brace myself for the inevitable onslaught. Is the thought of living with it really so unbearable? Oh. But were you expecting this question, huh? I wasn't expecting this question. My dread dies with his words. No one has asked me that before. You survived this long, unless you're running out of time. I wonder if it's really worth the sacrifice. He flicks the cigarettes aside and props his head on blood-smeared knuckles. But what do I know? I'm just an outsider. My fingers fuss with the trim of my cloak. Ordinarily, I feel annoyed, but now my chest feels tight. You could have sold me if you're less honest. You're a shit salesman. Thought I was a liar. I changed my mind. We lapsed into silence again. This time it's surprisingly nice. The quiet, chilled air is calm. Sometimes just like vibing with someone's really good. Someone who just like shares the same like energy or good comforting energy. It's just nice to just sit and vibe with them. You know, you didn't seem like an outsider back at the bar. A lot of people like you. Eyes raises a brow at me. I started asking about. Oh. So he was talking the most about Vare? He seems the closest to Vare. I actually really like Leander. I don't know, he seems like a really fun character, so I'm curious about him. You and Leander clearly get along well. You like Leander? Doesn't everyone? He's helped me a lot since I arrived in Iridia. He even got me a free room at the Wet Wick. His charm has gotten him far, but for a leader, he sure likes when other takes control. Is that why he asked me to like tie him up earlier? Hey, yo, wait! What if that's why? He like started blushing, was like, you could tie me up if you want. I'm like, excuse me? Part of me desperately wants to ask what he means, but Ice continues before I get a chance. Surprised we get along? I thought you'd be at each other's throats instead of drinking buddies. Smile is easy, but there's a dangerous edge to it. Leander's done a good job for a human. Naturally, there'll come a time when his resolve is tested. Same could be said for anyone in this plane or the next. As for my resolve, well, stick around Iridia long enough and you'll find out. I nod slowly. I can't decide if it sounds like a promise or a threat. Got any more observations, Sparrow? Oh, I can ask about everyone. Oh, let's do it. What about Vare? I was surprised to see that you and Vare are close. Blessing and a curse. From what I gather, most people think he's, I don't know, an asshole? And the water's wet. Okay, so it's like evident he's an asshole. Alright, wait for him to elaborate or add on his thoughts, but he doesn't. So what do you like about him? He lets out a quiet laugh as if amused by my question. A lot of things. You already named one. He just likes that he's an asshole? You like that he's an asshole? Temperament matches the drapes. Looks good in blood and better in ear. Wait, what? Temperament matches the drapes? Looks good in blood and better in tears? Favorite thing's the tail. Sometimes it frizzes up if you... He catches this up, clear his throat. It's hard not to let this disappoint. Oh my... Vare's one of the most honest people you'll meet. Just don't listen to a single thing he says. Then how the heck am I supposed to know he's honest? Wait, what? Those sound like complete opposites to me? So he likes him because he likes pets? I mean, he seems like an animal lover. Eyes has proven to be an animal lover, so... Okay. I don't know. Okay, Kuros. In a way, I help him in the clinic sometimes. Doctor doesn't let most people closer than arm's length. And you do? Heart's on my sleeve. Get the sense Kuros was like that in the past. Must have been burned. He trails off after the last few words and shrugs. He opens up in his own ways if he's relaxed. Yeah, Kuros kind of comes up really mysterious. Like he's always distant and cold and doesn't want... Yeah, I think how Eyes explained it is pretty well. He's always like at an arm's length with people. I'm curious what the heck happened to him. I don't know how I'd even imagine that. You'd be surprised. Even the doctor has an endearing side. Can't decide what's more intriguing. The fact that Kuros has an endearing side or the idea that Eyes managed to coax it out of him. Tell me if you uncover any of his other secrets. I'd kill no more. And Min! Maybe Min doesn't necessarily like you, but they definitely pay attention to you. Eyes' reaction takes me off guard. He growls, pinches the bridges of his nose, exasperated ever seen him. I make enemies as easily as I breathe, Sparrow. Doesn't bother me. But that dove's got it out for me for no reason. Maybe they're unsettled by the sea spring? That's not about that. It goes without saying, but they got some issues. Don't think they understand that you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Honey has left a bad taste in my mouth in the past. It could be the same for them. At least you're capable of conversation. Do me a favor and teach the dubs some manners. Thought they'd lay off eventually if they didn't bite. Hasn't happened yet. I briefly considered the possibility that Min wants to get bitten, but I'm not about to propose that though. Main point is that speaking from experience, being an outsider usually means you don't have friends. I don't. I level him with a tired look. Fine, I'll confess, I have one friend. Don't say yourself. Okudas. Wait, who's Okudas? Why do they sound familiar? My skin prickles at the name, hair standing on end. Who's that? A friend. It lives in my head. It lives in your head? Ice taps his temple with a finger. Right here. Because he drank the pool! Oh no, what if... Okay, I'm assuming because he drank from the pool, he can hear voices from different people. Or beings. Right here. Scared you off yet? That'd be the third bad impression I made of you on you today. I'm stunned for a long moment, processing what he just told me. Then I burst into a fit of laughter. You're serious? Eyes grins wide enough to flash his fangs. Deadly. Sounds so fucking absurd, I can't help it. On top of everything I've gone through today, it feels like I'm living a fever dream. I've come close to death more times than I count. Encountered tame, soulless, and horrifying group mind, and I'm supposed to believe that there's someone living inside Eyes' head? There are tears in my eyes by the time I rein myself in. Eyes waits patiently, lips quirked in amusement. Sorry, it just sounds so ridiculous. The tension that the wound might shatter so tightly has melted away, and for the first time in a long time I feel like I can breathe. I feel better. Dukas, where in the rat's ass are you? Reckless Grub shouts in the streets, echoed by the sound of heavy boots sloshing through mud. The voices share the roughneck's accent from the bar, and the same roughneck who still may be dead and lying bloody. Wait, what? I shout to my feet as their voices get louder. They're closing in quick. Eyes pulls me by the wrist out of the alley, away from the beamy moonlight. We dive into a nook between buildings, veiled in the shade of tattered canopies. It's a tight fit. Eyes boxes me against the wall, his body all but pressed against mine as he towers over me. For the second time today, the heady scent of smoke envelops me, but this time cut with a metallic tinge of someone else's blood. Eyes pitches his voice low. Quiet. My heart leaps into my throat. I'm suddenly acutely aware of the heat radiating out of Ice's body, and the feeling of his legs grazing my thigh, the closeness of his breath. Oh my. This is bad. I squirm against him and earn a burning crimson glare. Do we really have to? His hand covers my mouth, muffling my whispers, and shakes his head. Don't. Damn, he's over here! Dukas, wake up, you bastard! A group of individuals all brandishing spiked weapons fill the alley. They all wear violet sashes, some kind of uniform. I wish I could see what they're doing, but Ice's arm all blocks my sight. My eyes trail up the teal markings. They coil around his arm and his bicep. They lead up to Ice's collarbone and the cords hanging around his neck. And the smuggest smirk I ever seen. Fight him! I move for a good think, open my mouth enough to bare my teeth, and bite on Ice's palm hard. He winces, surprising flashing across his features. His hand leaves my mouth and grasps in air. My breath is rapid from the adrenaline, but it's only when I lick my lip. Oh my, I taste metallic. I didn't know. Okay, maybe I bit too hard. Holy shit. That I realized I broke the skin. Oh shoot. Panic builds in my chest, my body tenses, bracing for his reaction. Every movement he makes is slow and deliberate. He bends down and leans close to my ear in a husky whisper only I can hear. At least someone could draw blood today. Hot thrill jolts through me. For a heartbeat, I forgot to breathe. Voices in the alley grab Ice's attention this time. Shit, he's got more broken ribs than whole ones. What kind of freak did this? Fan out and find the cocksucker responsible. You three, take Dukas back to the base, lest he's still breathing. The alley clears up, footsteps rush away from us. We stay still until they're distant, melting into rumble at the corridor. We finally step back into the moonlight. The night air is ice on my skin. I feel dazed with the need to keep eyes off of Ice at all cost. Was that really necessary? The tremble to my voice is nothing but embarrassing. Could ask you the same thing. Didn't know sparrows could bite. You're lucky I didn't do worse. Try me. Oh! Yeah! The thought of wiping that shitty grin off his face is definitely tempting. staying hidden was the best option. It would be a hassle to run into them with you there. What, because I'm a deadweight? Because 3 bad impressions are enough for one day. The answer's too vague for my liking, but he's probably right. Either way, I don't have the energy to argue. Come on, Sparrow. Let's get you home before you're framed for murder. Very funny. Reach the front of the wet wick too quickly. I hate to admit it, but I don't want to separate from Eyes yet. And not just because he never answered my questions. He's infuriating as easily as he makes me feel on edge. He can make me feel safe, secure somehow. You know where to find me. At the creepiest place in the world. Take your time before you decide to drink. I happen to like your shitty attitude. Takes me a moment to process it, and my eyes flutter down to my feet. I'll keep that in mind. When I glance back up from the ground, Ice is already down the street, disappearing to the throng of people. No fanfare, not even a wave. Asshole. Okay, oh, it's time. The prologue's done. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna continue on with Eyes' story, and maybe I'll try other characters later. Eyes is pretty interesting. All of them have like a very interesting, mysterious thing to them. The demon Renegade is intimidating and laid-back outsider. Eyes presides over a sea spring with unnerving powers. He offers you a miracle, but the price means submitting yourself to a horrifying presence at the heart of the spring. But you gaze into the abyss for answers, even the risk of losing yourself. What about you? Leander offers you something that's impossible, a taste of normalcy free of your curse. As the first person to withstand your touch, you can change your life. But some things are simply too good to be— Yeah, he does come up too good to be true. Why is everything so easy with him? I don't know if I trust that. But at what cost? Oh god, what has Leander got up his sleeve? Versus is a warning of the dangers of the Sinobium, cunning as he's curious. I feel like he's like a pet in the Sinobium. I don't know how to explain it. Can Veer protect you, or is Honeyword's trap waiting to shut? Carissa's parental doctor, extraordinary skill, but you know a little about the man behind the professional mask. If you uncover his deepest secrets, will you like what you find? Oh shoot. Min. Violence. Min is just desperate as you get to the Sinobium. You may be able to help each other, but they're keeping so many secrets with you. They claim they're dangerous, but they could be your only chance to get— Oh. They're all interesting. They're all pretty interesting to me. I think let's go with— I like Leander. Leander's story is calling to me more. I don't know why. Leander and Kuras, their stories are calling to me more, but I think I will come back to them because they interest me so much. I think Eyes is a really good start, and because they recommended him to me from the quiz, I will go with Eyes. Let's go. I'm assuming that's what I'm gonna see when I start the actual game, but that was a wonderful demo, you guys. It's like almost 5 a.m. now, y'all. I started at 1 a.m. and ended at 5 a.m. GG's, GG's. But it was good. It was good. I am looking forward to the full release of Touchstarved. I followed the Touchstarved Twitter, and I have been just keeping updated to like whatever they post whenever I can. And congrats to them with the Kickstarter, by the way, and them reaching all their goals. It seems like a lot of people are interested, and I'm one of them. Thank you to the devs, the team, and everyone at working at Red Spring Studio for working so hard and giving us this cool-ass game. I am curious to what Eyes' story and who his freaking friend in his head is. I wonder if he has like multiple friends. What if he has like 30 friends in his head and he just talks to all of them? Who knows? Also, dude got tentacles. Is he like— I was thinking he was like some kind of pirate themed a little bit, but not at the same time. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But I'm looking forward to starting Eyes' story when the official game comes out. I'm excited to play it. I think if I like how Eyes' story goes, I will continue with do Leander and Kuras route. I don't know if I'll do Ver and Min's. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see how interested I get. But for the most part, Eyes for sure, Leander after, and Kuras too. These three caught my attention the most. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you all you lovely lights for joining me on the Touchstarved journey or any game journey I go through. And as always, you know what I always say, whatever it is for you, day or night, please make sure you drink your water, take care, and bye-bye!